And we are recording.
All right. When last we left off, the wolf pack, after escaping an imperial prison and barely avoiding falling into the clutches of the blade, decided to take a week to recuperate, consolidate their new loot and intelligence, and make use of some magical tomes that they had discovered. During this time, some discussions and revelations were had regarding the identity of the blade, as well as some of the plots surrounding the Empress and the 10 Pillars of Meridia, and the possibilities of turning members of the Black Blades to their cause. After these discussions, plans were made to check on the status of the Tinkerer and seek out an ideal ambush spot for the impending conflict with the Torch. These plans were suddenly interrupted by some odd activity by Grifter, who was revealed to be a mind-addled archmage, Garen Valerian. A use of the Greater Restoration spell saw that the man's mind was restored, albeit briefly, but long enough for him to cast a powerful gate spell, whisking the party to an extraplanar tower overlooking their home. From this tower, the pack could clearly see odd chains spanning this part of the world, seemingly powering a massive pillar somewhere near Meridia, with a destroyed set of chains and debris floating above a familiar set of islands vaguely shaped like an anchor. Following the Archmage into the tower proper, the pack prepares to learn more about the threats they are facing. And that is where we're picking up as you guys were kind of standing on this bridge away from the entry platform, looking out over what looks to be the continent of Meridia, with these massive pillars and chains floating above them, one of which has seemingly been destroyed. Avandre is there with you and kind of looks over, and Grifter, who had gone ahead of you guys, has made his way to the tower, and this tower didn't look like there was any kind of like door, but there is now a opening that is vaguely door-shaped, that is clearly open, and someone has gone inside of it. As Avandre just kind of looks and says, "Well, I think we should probably follow him before he loses his mind again," and starts walking in that direction. Wolfpack, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess
On
we
in.
should probably follow him. Probably.
Probably.
Let's go that way.
All right.
Where are we?
You guys finish crossing this bridge and making your way into this smooth white marble tower. As soon as you cross through the threshold of this opening, whoever's the last one of you coming in, you feel it doesn't. There's not like a closing sound or anything like that, but it's whatever kind of airflow you might have felt as this is an opening, that is now gone as the passage behind you closes, and all of you feel this kind of cool, soothing aura filling the space as you walk into the main chamber here. You can very clearly see what looks to be a circular room. Immediately that you're stepping on and then crossing over, as Avandre does as well, what looks to be a large platform attached to a rail system that coils upwards until it goes out of sight with the ceiling. Looks to be some kind of, instead of a staircase, almost like a spiral elevator. The main chamber itself here, there's various shelves lined with what look to be glass specimen jars and vats containing various like hopefully biological specimens inside of them, floating in some kind of liquid. Some of them empty, some of them filled with various things. In one far end, there looks to be a glass cylinder big enough for a person or two to stand inside of, that goes all the way to the ceiling as far as the height on there. Thick glass, currently open. In the center of the chamber is this large table, about 15 feet in length. What looks to be massive purple crystals embedded in various points in it. The rest of the table seems to be covered in sand. And Garand, as Evandre, when you walk up to there, Garand is kind of manipulating this weird like miasma of purple light above it, and starts beginning to shaping it, and eventually this soft purple light emits from the sand on the table, and you can see what looks to be a three-dimensional map of the Empire of Meridia, complete with these pillars that you now see floating above it. As you guys walk in towards the table, Garen looks, okay, don't have a lot of time. I can already kind of feel my mind starting to slip here. Here's the deal. This tower is going to help me heal. I appreciate the Greater Restoration. It's a temporary thing. None of you guys are really capable of anything perfectly fixing me. The stasis chamber back there, it'll take some time, but I can heal myself eventually. I can do that. Here's the deal. You guys already kind of, it sounds like you guys are already kind of aware what's going on, Demogorgon and all that. That's always been the job of the Archmage, is to make sure that that prison stays in place. Ever since the founding of the Empire, it's always been the Archmage's job to make sure that that prison stays in place. The reason it's not now is because I'm not officially, and he puts in quotes, I'm not officially the Archmage anymore. They tried to push me out because the guy who tried to take my job is one of the mystics, all right? Now, he's not actually officially the Archmage, though. There's oaths that we have to take whenever we take the job that bind us to that cause of preventing Demogorgon. He hasn't taken those oaths, and that's why he's been able to give resources to the mystics and allow them to do, well, that. And he kind of points in circles around the destroyed pillar. He had something to do with that. He probably, I don't think he did it directly, obviously, but he probably funded it. Technically, by the oaths, I'm still the Archmage, which is why I'm allowed up here in the tower, and he's not. It also means that they have to either kill me, because they're not aware of the oaths. They have to either kill me to free them up, although they're probably never going to make the guy take the oaths, or I have to name a successor. And I'm going to figure that out at some point, because hopefully when my mind is proper. But you guys need to know that. Mystics have two kind of objectives. Obviously destroying these anchors, but the reason that they're destroying the anchors is because this one, and he circles the big one, floating above out the outskirts of Meridia. This is where Demogorgon is. All right, this is he is linked to the planar location underneath Light Rock Isle. Always has been. Don't ask me why. If he breaks free, it's game over for everybody. It's going to be a real bad, and no one. I don't even know. I don't have the thought capacity to try and quantify what that's going to look like. So it's important we don't let that happen. Okay. Number one objective: prevent that from happening. Every pillar, every one of these, and he circles the other locations. Every one of these that the mystics find a way to destroy or disrupt in some way makes it easier for him to bust out. He only has so much power, and they're only able to give him so much power that he can try busting out once a month. But it gets easier every time they disrupt something. So you guys need to make sure that they don't get another one, or figure out how to disrupt their plans from doing that. Sorry to dump that on you. Second objective. Sounds like some of you already are aware of this, but they're kind of putting aspects, fragments of Demogorgon into people. That one fucker, the Blade, already has one in him. It sounds like they've done some fucking around with other stuff that hasn't quite worked. I don't know that much of their side of the organization. I don't know what they're doing as far as that. Every time they do that, every aspect of him that walks the plane makes it easier for him to get out. So if you find an aspect of them, kill it. Kill it with extreme prejudice. And I know that's saying a lot because it's the Blade, because he's one of them, but kill them. Otherwise, again, real bad. Questions?
Is there a way we can tell who these other aspects are? I mean, we know this
No.
Blade dude's one, right?
Show me where they are, and I'll kill them right now.
Yeah, I actually, hold on. And he starts rooting around over on the side table, pulls out a little drawer.
Some
And-
sunglasses that when you put them on, we can see the monsters.
Not quite that. He pulls out a spell scroll and opens it and activates the spell. He's like, I have copies of this, I'll show you how to cast it. And he activates it, and it's basically a detect, think of it like seeming, except it's a detect magic aura. So suddenly all of you have this vision of being everything. There's a soft greenish layer suffusing all of you, except for Tez.
Oh,
Tez has a weird red, he's not fully red, he's not covered in it, but there's red pinpricks all over him.
why do I?
What does it look like when the Demogorgon's inside of people? As I
Uh,
step slowly away from Tez.
Garen
Why
kind of
do
backs
you-
up a little bit. That,
Oh, no.
it's, I mean, the full aspect would be full red, but
Oh,
That's not
hold on.
great,
And
right?
he starts casting another detection spell. Did someone go fucking around with your magical aura?
I don't know. I feel fine.
Have you had any weird dreams about demons lately?
I have. I've had so many.
Okay, that's not good. You're not a full aspect, it doesn't feel like. Otherwise, I mean, you'd know if you were a full aspect, you'd feel that power. And I'm sure we'd have a hard time stopping anyone like that.
I feel lots of power. All
Well,
the time. I'm very powerful. I'm Tez of the Tall Stone.
yeah, that's...
I look like I'm sick.
And he does a little major image here and makes an appearance of one of the mystics of Meridia. Do these guys look familiar to you? And pointing at Tez, like, and you see it's very clearly like the red robe dudes who put you through that ritual.
I've seen them before. Yes, I know who they are.
Okay, so did they do a magic ritual on you?
I don't know. Maybe. Yes,
Okay.
they did.
They did. Okay. This is going to go a lot easier. I don't know if that was just like hesitation or you trying to figure out what they did. It's going to go a lot easier if you trust me here. I know I don't have a lot of time. It
It's
sounds
not
like
that he doesn't trust you. He's like not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Noted. Okay. So, sounds like they tried to do something to you. I'm betting it failed because you're not... I mean, the little pinpricks are very kind of obvious. So something went wrong with that.
Okay.
Whenever you think about Demogorgon, do you feel like you want to let him out?
I don't know what happens when I think about Demogorgon.
I mean, what does Tez feel like when he thinks about letting Demogorgon out?
I don't think that I want Demogorgon to get out. No.
Okay, the sheer fact that you have that thought means you're probably fine.
The only reason would be to kill Demogorgon.
Okay, yeah, he's good. Like, no aspect of Demogorgon would want to kill Demogorgon. Let's be very clear here. So,
Who is Demogorgon?
Demogorgon, and he does another major image, and you see, it's not massive, obviously, because he can't make that big of an image. But you see what looks to be this demonic-looking creature with two beast heads, like vaguely lion-esque, vaguely like bear-esque. They don't look like perfect representations of either animal, but very like bestial in nature. Two heads just kind of like both looking in different directions, pulling the body one way or another. Multiple tentacles for each arm, and these massive like scaled looking legs with this vicious grin on both of the faces, looking around as it sweeps the arms around violently. So this is Demogorgon.
I definitely don't want that to get out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for the record, he's not this height. He's like, if he got out, he'd be like 30 feet tall. So keep that in mind.
No, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, you're probably clean then. I don't know what the pinpricks mean, but that's not a thing I have time for right now. And then he has like a half moment where he looks at Avandre and then realizes he knows who Avandre is. Very clearly on his face, like, okay, you need to figure that out. I don't know. I'm not gonna have time for it right now until maybe it'll wait. I don't know. If you can figure that out, that'd be great. And Avandre immediately claims up. Is like, yep, I can help with that. Yeah. So, anyway, he takes a spell scroll. He like multiple of the scrolls, puts them out. He points at Dros. You look like a wizard. You only need to learn this, Avandre. You don't know it already. Yeah, use them. Learn it, cast it. They'll be fully lit up red if they are an aspect of Demogorgon, but it's also usually... Yeah, no, it won't look like pinpricks. It's not going to look like pinpricks. But you'll know when it's an aspect. They're going to be fully lit up with red, and more than likely doing something very fucking evil. These aren't like... You can't take on an aspect of the Prince of Beasts and Demons without still being a good person inside. So... And moreover, I don't think the ritual would work anyway, because I don't too much. So yeah, find if there are any aspects out there, fucking kill them, destroy them, prevent the mystics from destroying the prison. Otherwise, everyone dies. No big deal, right?
This sounds fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Last thing I need to do. He goes over to Avandre. Okay, here's the deal. I don't know how long this, and he points at his brain and points at the chamber. I don't know how long this is going to last. And how long it's going to take to heal me. If I lose my mind again, I need someone who can come up here and like do things and be the Archmage. And he kind of looks at you, and then he looks at Vondre, and then he looks over at Drost. And I'm gonna be honest, he points at you, Drost. You have the cloak, but I don't think that doesn't really make you an Archmage. I'm sorry, you're not quite at that level of where I can like safely entrust this duty to you.
Yeah, I don't think you want to.
I don't know. I mean, you seem to be with a good crowd. Like that's cool, but
You'd be great at it.
It's more of a like level of wizarding kind of thing, and I at least know him, and I know he can pull it. Like at least he can try to fill the shoes as much as he. I don't know, Vondre. Look, I hate to do this. Hand, you need to do this with me. And Garen whispers something in some kind of like arcane language that Drost, you vaguely recognize a few words out of. It's almost like it's being messaged to him, but in a different, almost like encrypted. So it's hard to even figure out like how long the message was supposed to be or anything like that.
Sure.
Avandre just kind of nods his head and goes, "All right. I, Arcanist Avandre, known as the Faithful of Spirit and Guardian of those who hide, do solemnly swear to uphold the sacred covenant and duties of the Archmage of the Empire of Meridia. I, being of sound mind and ability, will bear the burden of knowledge for those to come. I will protect those of this land from threats they cannot fathom. I will guide those who seek to defend the world, and teach those who will one day bear this burden on their shoulders. Should I fall, I will do so, knowing that I did what I could to prevent the downfall of this world, with all of the arcane knowledge and might I have. Let it be so." And as soon as he finishes that last word, a glyph lights up on his hand. Garen looks at it and goes, "Okay, perfect. That worked. You were officially my successor. You will have to have that authenticated by a true-born son or daughter of the Light Rock family. That's for you to figure out at some point." And Avandre just kind of nods and goes, "I can do that." Okay, cool. Already feel myself slipping. So sorry. Avandre might have answers for any other questions. Feel free to use the tower for now. There's a teleportation circle up top that you can get. Figure it out. So sorry. Hopefully this doesn't take long. And he runs back into that glass chamber in the far end of the room, closes the door, and the second you do, it kind of like the entire like cylindrical chamber that he's in fills with this soft green miasma, and you see him kind of conk out and just kind of like hover a little bit. And he appears to be sleeping.
Oh,
That was a lot.
he fell asleep.
Yeah. Avandre just kind of looks at him and goes, "He was always eccentric at the best of times, but I suppose feeling your mind slipping away speeds things up a little bit. Well, that wasn't too bad. I mean, the world might end, but that seems about normal for everything going on, right?"
I mean, we kind of knew that was happening, right? We just didn't know exactly how.
Yeah, I suppose we did already know what the Mystics were doing. Now we just realize, well, what they were doing.
They messed with me.
Yes, that makes a lot more sense. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure you told Avandre about the dreams with Charles, or the fucking consort, right?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, Avandre kind of thinks for a sec. I think what's happened is whatever ritual was done to you didn't work, and that's why you have the little pinpricks that you're almost like you were an aspect.
It did
I'm willing
work.
to bet
It worked
Well-
because I'm magical.
you are
I do
magical.
mad things.
I
all the
can't deny
time.
that. You are most definitely magical.
I just don't control it very well.
Well, given that controlling it very well means that you would be an aspect of Demogorgon, I'm not entirely sure you'd want that.
Oh, so that's okay. No, it makes sense.
Yes, I think had the ritual fully succeeded in what the Mystics were
Oh.
planning, you would be a very, very dangerous enemy to be had.
You guys are very lucky.
Yeah, we'd be fucked.
I'm crazy.
Oh, it just means that the only other two that we need to kill are the most dangerous magical assassin in the Empire and the literal prince consort to the Empress of the Empire.
He's gonna be hard to get to.
Let's do
Well,
it.
They both are. Do you wonder if they're picking high-profile subjects for that specific reason, or?
Well, yeah, they're not gonna pick fucking Gordon the chimney sweep. Like, who gives a shit if he's Demogorgon? Like, they want somebody good.
I'll have
Who
you
is
know, I
that?
know many a chimney sweep who are hard to kill.
Finn, tell me who that is.
I just made that person up.
Oh. Why?
Because they're not gonna pick some nobody. Like, they're gonna pick somebody like you that's fucking, you know,
I'm big.
7 feet tall and fucking gigantic.
I'm pretty mean. Chimney sweeps will just clean your chimney.
Yeah, like you kick ass.
I think we should go hunting.
Oh, we should ask the book. It just says it answers yes or no questions, right?
Let me make sure. I think it answers any question you want.
But like, it just says like yes or no, right? It doesn't like give a lot of details.
Let me.
I was
Let's see.
looking at it earlier.
A spellcaster can expend charges to see or use the book and see through events that have happened or are happening. You can write a single question into the book. This question does not have to be a yes or no question. So yeah, you can just ask a question and I have to answer.
Okay, so should I ask the book?
Seems obvious.
Like,
Ask it.
are
like
there
you're-
other aspects other than the consort and the blade?
Yeah, or do we want to try and go for a home run and get all the and ask it for the names of all the aspects of Demogorgon?
Yeah,
That's a good
asking the names
idea.
would be a smart question. It would. I mean, we probably know there's more than those two, so asking just the names would probably save us that first question at least.
Oh yeah, I guess shit's true. What are the names of the
I mean,
aspects of Demogorgon?
Exactly.
And this thing works every, what did you say, full moon?
Yep, which is every 5 days.
Okay, so I mean, worst case is we ask it 4 more questions in 5 days. Presumably, we're not going to get to every single one of them in that amount of time.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put in here the question: what are the other aspects of Demogorgon? And I'm going to go ahead and answer, and I'll type it in the shared notes as well. But the other I'll just make it so that it's what are the aspects. That sounds. I mean, you'd want to confirm, right? So the first one it gives you is the aspect of cunning, which is the blade. There is the aspect of pride, which is Charles Malor, the consort to the Empress.
Ooh. Hi, by the way.
What's
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
There was a lot of rapid fire exposition as a man was losing his mind. So,
Ooh.
there is the aspect of hunger, which the book kind of writes out was being held, but is now dormant.
so
after
we
being
killed
slain.
that, right?
You did. You did in fact kill the being that was the aspect of hunger.
Is that
Ooh.
the alien brain thing?
Yep.
Nice.
And the last one it says is the aspect of fury, which is currently unheld.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, but that's what they tried to give you.
Oh, that's probably right.
Could always ask and find out.
Yeah, do we have another? We got another question, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh
have.
yeah.
You now have 6 more questions still.
They told me they were going to make me unstoppable.
Well, that
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
probably it.
furious.
Well, they probably
you
are
say
going to make
that
you
they had to-
unstoppable.
Did you say they had to do it during a full moon?
No, that's our book.
Oh.
Yeah, the book has to be, but given the weird time things that we're doing with the downtime and everything, we're speeding it up a little bit. So,
Okay, good idea.
do you want to use one of the charges for that and ask what happened with Tez's ritual?
Yeah.
I'm curious too.
All right. The book comes back and tells you that the Mystics tried to give him the aspect of Fury, but it did not take properly, as Fury would mean that he had to have been much more devoted to destruction and evil than he actually has in his heart. However, he did end up with a shard of the aspect of pride in him.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
It means
I'm
you're
not
Harry Potter.
prideful. Oh. Who's that?
Yeah, so essentially, what the book tries to denote, Tez is not a full aspect by any stretch of the imagination. The one that they tried to implant in him was not a perfect fit for his character. But even though it most likely was the only one that was going to work. However, there is a bit of his own pride that was in there that kind of shaved off another piece of an aspect. And given that that aspect is now being actively held by someone who Tez has had dreams about, you get the sense that's why. Tez and him kind of share a weird demonic connection now.
That's weird.
It is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Demon shit's weird.
So the Fury one's still out there somewhere, so they could that thing could pop up sometime.
Yep, Fury is out there, and Hunger, now it's no longer being held, so they could give it to someone else as well.
Hunger can be given to somebody else too?
Yep.
Oh.
Hunger was held by someone, and it essentially goes back into the community pool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
when we kill someone, it doesn't necessarily... It's whack-a-mole, potentially.
Yeah.
What did you say Charles Malors was?
He has the aspect of pride,
Oh, pride, okay.
which, the second you think about it, thinking back to those dreams of him, being super confident about his new abilities and being able to take on all enemies of the
Yeah.
Empire,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Gotcha.
He might have been that prideful to begin with, you don't know. But he definitely didn't seem lacking for confidence in the little glimpses you've now seen into him.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are still here in the Tower of the Archmage, as Avandri's just kind of playing with this table, spinning the map a little bit, okay. I don't really know where we should start.
Man, I'm assuming we just go back to our other plan, right? Unless we have something more pressing. I mean, we need to go chop it up with Narret to make sure we can go fucking kill the torch.
Right.
Or maybe she can
Yeah.
get the torch to join our side. Maybe,
The torch is
he
terrible.
doesn't sound sane. Yeah, but he doesn't sound sane. The wolf was talking about how he'd bounce between normal dude and the fucking Homelander. So
Yeah, well, yeah, homicidal, genocidal, whatever, more murder aside, he was close to the blade, right?
yeah,
And
maybe we can get him to take a shot at the blade. Was trying to kill him.
right, I was just gonna say,
Maybe he'll
Yeah.
try to kill him right back.
why? What? We're assuming that the blade probably wanted him dead for various reasons. Some of which are maybe that he's got, he knows something about him, or whatever. Cunning, being his thing.
We might be
Yeah,
able
it's
to
not-
use that. I do want him dead, though.
Me too. I want to kill him really bad.
Yeah, I don't not want him dead. He seems pretty awful.
He's too unpredictable.
Right. I mean, yes, I completely agree. But if we're in any way able to use him between the two of them, if you had to let one go and kill the other, I mean, you kill the blade, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
yeah. Well, one burned a village, the other one wants to destroy the entire fucking planet.
Right.
All right. Well, I say we fucking.
Do we ask the book? I don't know how many more questions we have in this
5
round.
more.
Oh,
Yeah, 5.
I mean, maybe we come up with a question to ask the book about, like the torch or his relationship to the blade or something like that to give us something to work with.
Oh yeah, I guess we could ask the book why the blade wants the torch dead.
Oh, that's that's
No,
the
that's
ultimate
true. We
question.
don't know that.
Yeah, the vibe that you kind of got when he pitched it to you guys was just he's creating more problems than he's solving at the moment.
Right, which
Him, like
which coming
bureaucratic problems.
Which tracks?
well, which coming from the blade is very ambiguous as to what those problems would be.
What would you
Yeah,
like
I'm
to
all
ask?
for asking the book that.
All right, what is
Yeah.
the question?
Why does the blade want us to kill the torch?
The book answers, the torch has become an unpredictable asset out in the field, repeatedly lashing out at Imperial troops, even though he's supposed to be leading them and escorting them through dangerous territory, as well as acting as support. He's killed several Imperial nobles who have gotten in the way of him and tried to talk him down from doing that, and it's starting to make an impression back in the Golden City. On top of that, he's stopped answering certain missives from the Blade to tone things down and choose smarter targets. Instead, he's
Ooh.
reveling in the destruction that he's wreathing out here.
All right, well, probably
Also,
not.
Too evil for the evil mastermind.
He goes on and
Not
says,
great.
part of the distrust between them lies in the nature of their relationship. The blade has always been seen by the torch as a sort of like god mentor figure, and he's no longer starting to feel that way due to the strength of his own power.
Mm, lovers quarrel.
You have 4 questions left. And I would point out, for those of you who are like gifted with magic, you have an idea of how strong the blade is, especially now knowing he's an aspect of Demogorgon. The fact that the torch has talked himself, or at least thinks that he can go toe to toe with that, means he's either delusional or he's got something going on that you don't know about.
Which could be both.
Yeah, I
either.
mean, if
He is crazy.
as far as our next move, I think we use whatever questions we have left for that. So if we're going after the torch, then we ask questions about the torch.
You've got 4 left. What do you want to know?
Yeah, I guess can we just ask the book where he is?
At this given moment?
Or where? I guess can't tell where it's going to be in the future, right?
It cannot.
We're talking to Narret first, right?
Yeah.
We can try to figure out how to get her on our side, maybe. Maybe the book has answers.
Ask it what Nerd's favorite food is, and we'll bring her a snack.
Ooh, that, not bad.
Okay. Good
I brought you
idea.
dumplings. Is it cool if we go kill your best friend?
Maybe the best way to approach it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty,
It's pretty open-ended.
yeah, it's pretty subjective.
I mean, do we just straight up ask it, like, what the extent of the torch's powers are?
Is the torch
I guess-
really more powerful than the blade?
Mm.
Do you ask that or put that question in the book?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is the torch more powerful than the blade? The book comes back and says it's unclear who would win in a struggle between their two powers.
Oh shit.
The blade bears the power of Demogorgon as well as much arcane knowledge and physical skill, and is highly skilled at taking out single targets in a matter of seconds. The torch bears powers drawn from the spirit of an ancient red dragon, as he was born under the lair of an ancient red dragon, and
Oh.
could, in a time of distress, potentially manifest himself as that dragon.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Oh.
that's not good.
Well, I'm glad we have that information.
And it kind of clicks in your head that you guys did a little bit of research on the torch's lair, the Torre Infierna, and you remember there were being a story about it being the ancient lair of Tortorok, the Eternal Flame, or the
Mhm.
Infernal Flame, the an ancient red dragon that caused practically a cataclysm in its own right, well before the founding of the Empire. You have 3 questions left.
What's Jerry up to?
Yeah, Jerry.
You guys are so lucky the book doesn't operate off of audio cues and that Tez might not be able to read. Actually, I'll give that one to you for free. Jerry's drinking right now.
Classic
Surprise.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry's back. Jerry's back at the bar in Kralaria, just getting hammered on goat's milk and whiskey.
Good for
Jerry
him.
found our alchemy jug and
Yes.
is going through the 4 gallons a day of beer.
Jerry found the alchemy jug and hasn't been seen in like a week. He's
And it's been
rewriting
set
the
to
definition of a
mayonnaise the
livender.
whole time.
Good old Jerry.
I don't have any other big ideas for questions for the book.
Nope, I got
Anybody
nothing
else
for
does?
now.
We know Nert's location, right?
Catacombs under Hilltown was kind of
Okay,
a vague location.
cool.
You also know of someone who might be able to get you in contact with her, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Does the Empire have another big gun? Like that big cannon?
Oh, good call.
Oh,
Because they blew up an anchor with that.
Yeah.
do we have a reason to believe there's another one?
Well, they blew up an anchor with it, and there's more anchors.
Oh,
I mean, are they just? Was that a mobile gun, or was that something that was
No,
like
it was
built
a-
into the hill
It was
side or
built
something?
in.
Okay,
But I mean, they could just build more of them.
right.
They could.
did you say that was in Corta?
Yes.
Do you ask the book about the gun?
Yep. I'll ask if they have more of those giant cannons.
Cannons under the control of the Empire. All right. You asked that question, and the answer comes back. The arcane cannon made in Corda has been finished at this point and perfected. It now could potentially strike into the Northern Territories on its own. The finished pattern is currently being reconstructed and copied and reconstructed in 2 different locations: the city of Meridia and the city of Oasis.
Oh,
Hmm.
damn.
Where is Oasis?
Way to the south.
right?
Yeah, it is
Oh,
way
yeah.
way to the south.
And
So-
Meridia is the big ass capital.
Yeah. So for the record, just so you're aware, there's a gun in Corda that can now potentially reach somewhere up in the Northern Territories.
Holy shit.
So think 7 squares distance, 7 to 8 squares. There's now one there is being constructed one in Meridia. So 7 to 8 squares could hit just about hit Hilltown and pretty much anything else in the center, and then one in
Oh.
Oasis. So essentially, when all
So-
three are constructed, one of these guns can hit pretty much anyone anywhere in the Empire.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Well,
I don't like that.
I don't give a shit if they blow up a town. Like, I'm worried about them blowing up these anchors. And that's the
Right.
worst part. Like, I'm assuming that one in Meridia can hit this one out in the East Water and this one over here in Jewel City.
Mm-hmm.
And if the one in Corda can hit the north, and I'm assuming the one in Oasis can hit this one in the mountain, that's all of them.
Avandre, he's been kind of watching you guys like have this discussion. Everything as he's been poking around, he goes, "Do we know what like? Obviously, there's the manifestation of the anchor here in space, like outside of here, external to the plane. Do we know what like this prison anchor looks like in our plane?"
I didn't. I mean, I saw the. I only saw the ruined remains of whatever it was.
You saw the ruined remains of that area of that part of the island, the village. There was some kind of like broken slab with a pelican Aarakocra like strapped to it and destroyed, left as a message. That was all you saw.
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, I'll tell him about that.
Okay, so some kind of slab. Would it be worth asking the book what the anchors are, where they are, what they are exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, what do the anchors look like?
that seems
what
like
they are and
dangerous
what they look
knowledge,
like.
but I mean, theoretically, we could just tear that page out of the book so that it could never potentially fall into their hands.
I'll eat it.
Or that is an option, I suppose.
Okay.
What do you ask?
Yeah. What do the anchors look like on the material plane?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the anchors in the material plane? You get back a lengthy part of this. So the anchors are described as looking like typically a stone pillar with various runes inscribed in multiple languages, some of which mortal beings were not meant to read or physically can read. Typically, that's kind of the vague description, at least.
Does it say
So-
how big they are?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so it's like
The
Small, like
dimensions
medium
given, they're usually somewhere between 10 to 15 feet tall.
Oh,
But
It's
they
not very
can't.
big.
But then there's a note on there. But this can vary depending on the surroundings encompassing the anchor.
well,
I mean, do we try to sabotage these guns? Do we not kill the torch? If the blade wants him dead because they could kill each other, do we leave the torch out there running around?
ah,
I mean, I'm not saying I love that
sounds
dude
risky.
burning villages down, but if
Yeah.
we're someplace far away from him,
so was that our last question in the book?
There is one more question for this
Um,
essentially lunar cycle.
Right, yeah. To the rest of everybody else, do we try to put a question in there about like a time frame of
oh yeah, like how long until they finish the
yeah,
cannons?
because once the cannons are up, then it basically means that
Yeah.
anything is fair game to get blown up.
Good
Yeah, we'll be
idea.
on a timer.
So figure out like either how to sabotage the one in Corda or a timer of what's left on the rest of them or the other two.
Yeah. Well,
I
doesn't
think a
the
timer.
torch have a crib down in Oasis?
Oasis
Yeah,
if we
is where
did
the
still wanna-
Torre and Frierna is.
Yeah, that's his home base with the Dragon
that's
Tower and everything.
That
Who?
seems like a bad idea.
The torch
Yeah.
is based in Oasis?
Yeah, he has
So-
a base, like a
Yeah,
tower
his,
there.
Shit.
His wizard tower is a giant stone structure in there known as the Torre Infierna, which is formerly the ancient red dragon Tortorock's lair. So
Okay.
he was born. Apparently, he was born underneath there, and then when he eventually became a recognized wizard, he was gifted that spot of land or real estate by the Blade, and it is now his wizard's tower.
So we go with like how long until the other two cannons are complete?
I say that works.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Give us a timeline at least on what to work with.
Good call.
Okay, you write that question into the book, and the book erases it because it cannot answer a question dealing with the future.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You still have a. You recognize that it didn't burn the charge though, because it didn't have to like. It's simply it can't do that. So
What
the charge
about
of magic is
like?
still tied to it.
Can it estimate how long it would take?
I was gonna say,
Apparently not.
what percentage complete? Well, that's two questions. I mean, we could extrapolate based on when it was started to getting built and what percentage it is complete. But
Yeah, I guess we could ask how complete it is.
yeah, or like based on its current build rate, when would it be complete? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but I don't
also
think
a
it's doing
future
that.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing the things you have to start reasoning out when you have a magic book that can't tell you the future.
I know, right?
Yeah, and then we burned all but one left. We could have figured it out.
You got
with
some
two
good info
questions.
though.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, do we just go with a percentage complete? How complete
Yeah.
are the? What percentage of completion are the? Well, that also implies future knowledge.
Why don't we just ask how long it took to build the first one?
It's actually quite a genius
There
question.
you go.
I almost didn't
Good
ask
job.
because I don't think Tez is usually that smart.
Avandre has been kind of
That was a
studying
good
the
one,
map while
Tyler.
you guys have been doing this, and he kind of thinks out loud. Do we even know if the guns will be used against the pillars? Like, I get the one in Korta was, but he kind of points out to that one over way out in the water in the Eastwater Sea. There aren't any islands out there. So where?
Is it just a coincidence that the Corda gun blew up the?
Maybe they don't
One
need
of
the
the
guns to
anchors?
blow them up. I guess I was thinking they needed the gun to blow it up.
I mean, I imagine
Maybe
it would
they
take quite a
don't.
bit of power to do so, but I don't know if there's
Maybe
no
they
island.
have-
This one seems like the outlier, and he kind of spins the map around a little bit. Like, I understand it would make sense if they needed the guns to blow up all the terrestrial ones, but this one isn't terrestrial bound. I don't think there is no land out there. And Jewel City, I don't know if any of you have been to Jewel City, but it's an incredibly packed population center. Attacking that with one of the guns. I mean, Jewel City is a part of the Empire. It'd be a testament to. It'd be like wiping out Hilltown to them.
Yeah. I mean, Demogorgon gets out and like everything's over, right?
True.
But I guess they're still going to be. It's not going to like blow up the whole world. He's just going to get loose and like
He'll get loose
turn
and
everything terrible.
yeah, he would make things awful, and it would be an inevitable death at that point. But that wouldn't be something that if not saying because I don't know where these things are exactly, but Jewel City would have to be the last one, but the one out in the water concerns me. Would it be worth asking where they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now we've just got
Vague
pricks on
locations.
pins on a map.
Yeah, you've got a
Yeah,
spot out in the
coordinates would
water,
be nice.
spot in the north, which I don't know if none of you have never been or ever been to the Northern Territories. There's not a lot out there. It's just nothing but ice and snow and blistering cold.
Gross. No, thank you.
Well, you'll probably have to go there eventually, but
No, I don't buy it. It's too cold. I have fur, though.
it's warm-ish in the summer. Tolerable.
I bet I'll be fine.
Hopefully we have that long.
Hopefully we have that long. I don't know. Could be. The one out in the water makes me think that the guns would be useful, obviously, because they could fight anything. I mean, I imagine one of those guns could put a hole clean in the Rebel Yell, and obviously attack any potential armed forces moving their way. But I don't know if they're central to the plan.
Or maybe they're just built as artillery
Yeah.
and were tested on the islands or the
From
anchor
what you
island.
from what you guys have told me, it sounded like that was a test firing of the cannon, right?
Well, we thought it was. That's before we knew the anchor was there.
Still could have been both.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone, that kind of deal. Oh no, not my book, not my problem.
I mean, yeah, I like the locations idea. It would be smart to whatever we're trying to come up with for our next plan. It'd be smart to get.
I mean, I guess we could ask the book like what they have to do to destroy them. I mean, maybe it's like they have some like super complicated ritual that we could disrupt.
Yeah. Right. Or I mean, yeah, clearly brute force with the arcane cannon worked for. Or yeah, I mean, it's possible that it was already destroyed and they were just covering things up with the cannon or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, didn't you say there was a like pelican tied to some stone?
Yes, but that looked to be after the fact.
Okay.
Left as like a message.
I honestly like what do they have to do to destroy, because realistically we're not getting. I guess I don't know what the speed of our travel abilities are, but like we're not getting to all of these places in the next 5 days anyways. So do we either maybe we get a location now and then in 5 days with the next moon ask for how they destroy them, or how they destroyed the one in the Anchor Islands? No, I don't know that either one makes sense to go for first, so pick one.
Hmm.
Well, I'm wondering if we ask how they destroy them, because even if we find out where they are, like we can't just like camp out on one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do they have to do to destroy these things? Oh, fuck, write that down.
Right. So the question you guys are asking is what's needed to destroy one of these pillars for the prison, correct?
Yeah, what's needed to destroy an anchor?
Right. Boom. Last question locked. The book comes back and tells you sufficient and incredible amount of either physical and magical force, preferably both. Physical force needed to break one of these things without any kind of magical reinforcement or aid is probably not you wouldn't be able to physically generate enough physical force to do so without the means of like an ancient dragon or something like that stupidly strong. Magically, you could potentially do it with sufficient levels of like spell levels. Several disintegrations could probably do it. that kind of magical force. Like a lot of magical powers needed to do it. If you kind of blend the two, it gets a little bit easier for both. Implying, and the inference there obviously is like, yeah, these cannon shots are very clearly, when they're fully powered, they're enough to break it.
Oh, you know what we should have asked? If they know where all the anchors are.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, write that down.
I think that's another really good line of questions. Is we'll see how much power the book has, but like what people know or don't know. But yeah, that's an excellent question.
Let me make sure of something. I think. For the record, there's a thing in here. A charge can be regained in the book by casting a 3rd level or higher spell into it. For every 2 spell levels higher than 3rd, the book gains an additional charge.
Oh shit!
Theoretically, if you guys wanted to burn spell slots right now,
Yeah,
you absolutely could.
I came back on a short rest, and my slot level is 5. So,
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's two charges for each then.
there we go.
So, are you burning both? I should ask, are you burning both spell slots into it?
I mean, it takes me like a half hour to get them back, so yeah, I might as well.
Okay, you have another 4 questions if you want.
Well,
yeah. Does the Empire know where all of the anchors are?
Does the Empire know where all the anchors are? I'm gonna ask just to be fair here. Are you specifying the actual Empire or the Mystics?
yeah, mystics.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I figured they're all the same thing, but yes, the Mystics specifically.
Okay.
Well, yeah, at this point they basically infiltrated fully.
Yeah,
But
you could have gotten it. Would have the answer, peeling a curtain, and the answer would have been a little more vague had it been the Empire
right,
proper. All right. Do the Mystics know where all the anchors are? Book comes back and says they have vague locations for several of them. They're aware of the underwater temple of Melandra, as well as the hidden shrine of Crucif underneath Jewel City. All right, sorry, hold on. No, I don't think I got that one right. They're aware, yeah, the Shrine of Crucif within the catacombs of Inverness below Jewel City. They have a vague idea of where the northernmost point and the Hell Gate are.
Foreboding locations.
I'm assuming the Hellgate's in the desert.
Right. Well, I mean, do we go with the location question?
Well, I still don't know if I don't get what I don't think there's anything that knowing where they are helps us. Like I said, we can't just hang out by them all the time.
Would we? So we know they're like big fuck off obelisks, basically, right?
Yeah,
It's
basically.
not necessarily something that we'd be able to like move, like the ones that they think they know where they are. Then we could move them and then slow them down.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean that would take a lot, presumably, especially if they're in like, you know, a catacombs or whatever. That would be hard to get something like that out, unless we were to teleport somehow with it. I don't know.
Burn charges to teleport in the book.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
That is another thing that you can do with it.
Oh, can we move the anchors?
Do you want to ask that question?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we ask. I think we ask that question because there's presumably they're in places for a reason, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I assume. But yeah, if we can move them, like fucking nick them and hide them someplace else.
right? Especially the ones where they think they know or they have a
Yeah.
lead on
Oh, we should have traded away that ring of swimming.
them.
All right. So the question that's being asked is, can the anchors be moved? The answer comes back: 3 of the 4 existing anchors cannot be moved as they are planarly locked. The 4th, in the sunken temple of Melandra, was once on the back of a lazy dragon turtle, and theoretically could be moved with sufficient force.
Hmm.
Huh.
On the back of a turtle. That was a big turtle.
So
Big
yeah,
turtle.
the interpretation here, because I'm going to peel it a little bit, because the book answer isn't always super straightforward. It'd be the equivalent of like picking up a rent-a-home and moving it across country.
Mhm.
Like theoretically, yeah, you can move a building. So
It would just be a massive undertaking to try and move it.
it'd be like picking up the whole of the Parthenon, including most of the foundation.
Right. Well, I mean, it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Questions
Um.
left.
Yeah, I don't. I like your. Uh. Do we ask about like what are the mystics' plans for destroying the rest of the anchors when they learn their location or pillars or whatever they are?
I mean, the Mystics are like a group of people, right?
Yeah.
What if can we just find them and kill them?
Avandre kind of laughs at that. You could certainly try. I'm not sure. It's a bit like cutting out sickness from a body after it's well and truly spread throughout. You can cut off the infected limb and the area where the point of infection. You'd be hard pressed to burn it entirely out of the system.
Wow.
I'd also caution asking for a list of like every member of the Mystics. I'm not sure that that book has enough pages.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Um. I assume we've sort of pivoted from rebellion to apocalypse prevention.
Well, I'm assuming that's the whole rebellion's going to end up the same way.
Yeah, I think they go hand
Right.
in hand.
Like, if we stop the apocalypse, we pretty much fuck the Empire up, so...
Right, true. Yeah, yeah, expose the mystics and the corruption.
I think the stakes on the rebellion just got slightly higher.
Yeah.
And we were going to be dead if we lost either way, but now if we lose, like, everybody's dead.
Yeah, it's not just us anymore.
So almost, I mean, I hate to say it, but almost more of a point to not go after the torch right now.
I know, I'm really not thinking going after the torch is the best idea, especially if he can... Though, they did say a dragon could blow up one of the anchors, so that's not great.
Right.
He's been killing Imperials
Yeah, he seems like he just kills pretty much anybody when the mood strikes
just
him.
for fun.
Yeah,
He's
the way the
crazy.
book outlined it was he's killed people who have kind of gotten in his way. So, he's supposed to be a military asset, acting under the authority of the Imperial Guard and their mission to exterminate terrorist cells up here in the Redwood Forest. And he's kind of just been doing whatever the hell he wants, and anyone who tells him not to do that has found themselves incinerated,
Hmm.
regardless of their position, rank, or birth. So it sounds like he's probably done that. And you kind of got a first-hand glimpse of that when you guys first met Loki. Loki was in the middle of a battle with his rebel cell and a force of Imperials, and the Torch bombed both. Like, he threw a massive amount of energy into that area and killed everyone there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do we go and talk to Narret? Maybe she knows something about the Torch that we can get him to go after the blade, and then worst case scenario, they kill each other? I guess best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they, like, mend fences and decide to come after us together.
That would be bad.
Yeah. Though the upside to that would end fairly quickly.
Well, Wolfpack, what would you like to do?
What do we want to do?
It's a great question.
This is a lot of
Well-
threads to pull.
I want
Well,
to
maybe
do the
Narret
thing
knows
that's
about the
most
guns.
killing.
So maybe let's go talk to Narret. Maybe she knows something about the guns that we can sabotage or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
You're right. It sounds like the guns. Do we want to ask? Do we want to ask more questions about the guns and like how complete they are and when they got started? Because we have like what, 2 more questions left, maybe?
You have 2 questions now.
Does that give us a timeline then, potentially on the gun situation, and then then we could work that angle from that direction,
Yeah.
unless we have.
We could
Unless-
ask them how long it took them to build the quarter gun and when did they start on the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
Good idea.
That'll give us a rough time, but not an accurate time.
I mean, it gives us more than we've got for sure.
This is true.
They could always speed up or slow down
Exactly.
their building and throw our
Yeah,
estimates off anyways.
it'd be a rough estimate.
Yeah. I like that. I think those are smart questions.
All right. Just to make sure, you're asking when was the Corda gun completed and
How long did it take them to do the quarter gun and when did they
Right.
start on the other ones?
Right. With those 2 pieces of information, we can do the math on how long we have.
when did they
Let's assume they'll build the other ones quicker because quarter was the first one.
Okay. The first question comes back. The base pattern of the Corda gun took 24 days to complete. It then underwent another 15 days of improvements and upgrades. So 39 days roughly. However, you guys are able to infer like that's maintenance and upgrades to a final like base pattern. So it might throw your time off a little bit because obviously they're not going to be like starting with the base pattern and then applying the exact same upgrades. They're probably just going to work directly towards that final product. The other 2 guns started construction 12 days ago.
So they're like probably half done.
Essentially, yeah.
Or in worst case scenario, they'll be done in 3 days.
We have like a week
Yeah.
comfortably. That is not long.
I think that's even more reason to go to Narret to see if she can. I mean, I don't know if we're on speaking terms with her, but like to see if she can give us a guesstimate for how long these things will.
I think we need to talk to her to become
to
on
build.
speaking terms with her. So we need to be
Yeah.
friendly.
And then probably end up using the book to teleport our ass to Oasis or Meridia from there.
Yeah.
Vondre chimes in again. I would very much caution against going to Meridia.
Right, yeah, I
Unless
don't like that idea.
absolutely necessary. And not to put this in an indelicate way, but certain members of your party might not be allowed. And he kind of looks over at like the elves, and then he looks over at Tez. Like, no offense. But
Oh,
the
I don't want to go there anyway.
trust me, it's not worth it. Anything that was good there died a while back. But the strike on the one in Oasis, not the worst idea. I'm assuming this Hellgate location is probably the one down in the mountains in the desert. If it's in a position where it can be shot at from, that would probably be an obvious target.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hustle up to Hilltown, see Narret, and then potentially go to Oasis after that.
I was going to ask, how do you plan to get to Hilltown? Because, not to tell you what to do, but Hilltown, obviously your ship is recognizable. Hilltown gets a little bit of air. It's correct, it can be invisible now, but I'd be cautious in bringing it to a city that is actually fortified against potential airship attacks like that.
Well, we were gonna land a little ways outside, right?
We can walk, it's not a problem.
Yeah, we could always land like a day's walk.
I was going to offer a teleportation circle if you wanted to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
That'd be
we
great.
could definitely do that.
that would save a lot of time.
I just ask that you don't interrupt the comings and goings of my shop there in Hilltown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Drost, I would recommend going up to the next level of the tower and taking note of the teleportation circle for this location as well, so you can get back here.
Shoot. Yeah, I was going to ask if we could get there, but I just kind of figured it was a gate spell that I can't do yet. But yeah,
Imagine the circle there, or upstairs, can be configured to go to mine without needing a spell slot or anything like that, but you'll probably want to get the coordinates for that circle as well, for quicker transit, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll have a new one constructed in Krillaria as soon as I can.
Okay, so it's teleporting to Avandre's shop in Hilltown via teleportation circle, and
I
then
think so.
catching
Then
up,
heading for the catacombs.
right?
Yep, and Finn, you remember, you know someone who has an inn with Narret.
Yo. I don't know how to find him though.
You have magic.
We've got a book.
You
Oh,
also have a book.
Yeah, we already used up all of our questions.
Fuck.
I guess I could just wait 30
yeah.
minutes and pump
Yeah,
a couple more into
I
it.
was just gonna say,
I was gonna say I have spell slots.
Yeah,
take
I have
a
some
quick
level
nap,
3 spell
or
slots.
I'm happy to do so as well. Yeah.
There's also information that we could get after the book recharges itself.
Yeah.
It just went from the least used to the most used magic item.
You guys have
Basically-
been sitting on this for like 30-something sessions.
Hooray!
Yeah. For the record, you could have teleported at any point with that. Every single time you were like, oh yeah, we need to get to Yord. Like, that entire walking sequence, you could have just been like, nah, we're there.
Well,
Look, no one ever said we were a smart group.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me
Easily
make a
enough,
list.
Vondre writes the coordinates out on a very quick spell scroll for his shop location. Circle there. And both of you go upstairs, and he ends up writing it in his own journal as well. The coordinates for the teleportation circle here in the watchtower.
all right, so we won't need like permission from, or like we don't need to be the archmage in order to get here. with this
Uh,
these coordinates?
Normally
We
you
don't
would,
need permission.
however, he makes a weird arcane gesture and points at you. I designate you, my potential heir, as the Archmage of the Empire.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so sorry about
That's a
that.
big
Technically,
deal.
I'm not even the Archmage, but I will be verified soon enough. And that's all it really needs. You're essentially acting as my deputy, since I've taken the oath. So try not to abuse that power. We technically don't have any real government authority anymore.
Congratulations, Drost. We deserve
Ooh.
it.
Thank you.
We're a big deal.
All right. So I'm just making a list of the teleportation circle coordinates. I have the pit, which I might as well erase those because we're not going back there. Avandre's, which is now destroyed, right?
Yeah, he's gonna he has to recreate it.
Right. But his Hilltown location, and then what is this place? The Archmage's Tower?
Yep, the Archmage's Watchtower is the official location name.
And
Oh god, I gotta go
Avandre's
pull up my
Hilltown
notes on
shop.
Hilltown. Yeah, and the name he gives you for the shop, just because it's tied to the intrinsic nature of the runes, is Ambrid's Clocks. Which
Got it.
those of you who were there in Hilltown, which is I think everyone but Drost right now, would remember that's where Zach's other character got that watch that never shut the fuck up in his armor.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the fucking ticking time bomb armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought a fucking watch in Ambrid's
Brooks
Clocks.
had
and
a
never got
watch.
it. And then immediately attached it to plate armor because that was a good idea.
Yep. Tick tock, tick tock.
Um, is there anything else we need to do? We're suddenly rushing around, somewhat regretting the week of downtime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My fucking 22
No.
charisma does not regret the week of downtime.
Yeah, that's true. My fucking upped wisdom is great.
Maybe you're gaining enough of my strength stat benefits from this too.
Yeah, Taylor is no longer bedridden, so that's always a plus.
Oh,
that's good.
that was the main reason that we took that much time. That's right.
Definitely wasn't to increase my abilities.
All right, but you have all of the teleportation circles you need. You heading to Hilltown?
I guess might as well,
I
right?
think so.
All right. Avandre kind of looks around as you guys head up onto that second level to the circle. He goes, some of the stuff in here I'm not able to use yet until I get that verified, so I might go do that once you leave, but I'll probably be up here for the foreseeable future. Don't know if the cell stone will work. We'll have to test that. Be careful. Let me know if you need any help of any kind that I can potentially help with.
Will do.
Will do.
All right. And with that, you guys step
Thanks,
into the
Avandre.
teleportation circle. He gives a little salute, and suddenly the world shifts around you, and you are fully subjected to being sent back to the material plane. And you all reappear standing on a little stone plinth in what looks to be a back room of a wooden building. In the corner of this room, you see a little bed and what looks like a workbench with a couple pieces of clocks kind of scattered around. And
Drost to Avandre.
he immediately answers back, "Oh, I guess it does work. That's kind of cool. Good to know."
Sweet.
I don't know if I want to participate in that bit. I will be a little out of contact for the next day or so be careful.
Just testing. Thanks.
This map is a blast from the past.
Yep. My recent maps have gotten a lot better.
I'll just remember it.
I'll have to see if I can redo this one.
And
Trying to
where
look
are we? What's
You guys
word?
You guys are in the Golden Heights district. Smack dab right here in the middle. Oh, this is the wrong tool. Shazam. Right smack dab in the middle of town.
I've never been here before.
Do we have any idea where the catacombs are?
That's a question probably for Finn.
Yeah, I know where the catacombs are, right?
Give me a history check real quick. With advantage.
If not, I can probably go ask somebody.
You know a few people who know a few people. 20. You do, in fact, know a couple ways to get into the catacombs. So, Hilltown used to be a dwarven city before it was forcibly integrated, is the preferred word, into the Empire. The catacombs no longer get used anymore as a result of that, but there are plenty of it's called the catacombs. They were essentially dwarven tunnels and homesteads down there, underground. Most of which, almost not like 95% of which aren't used. A chunk of them are used. The ones that are closer to the surface, they're still used by like thief groups that you're aware of. From what you know, Narret is supposed to be in like the deepest of the catacombs, so potentially you could probably find a way down there with enough luck and time on your own.
Well,
Also provided there's not any kind of traps, obviously, deterring you from doing that, but...
yeah. Well, I guess we can head for the ash lot in the alley and see if he's still like hanging out around the roof of that building.
You could. You know a couple spots around there.
Yeah, let's do that. Unless you guys have a better idea.
We'll let you lead the way, Finn.
The book is my only idea.
We trust you.
All right. You guys head out. You walk. As soon as you go through, leave this room, it puts you immediately behind the counter of this clock shop, and all of you guys just hear a cacophony of ticking noises going throughout here. As this little wizened old gnome man is kind of sitting up at the counter and sees you guys emerge from the back room. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think you're supposed to be back there.
Nope, just leaving.
Kind of glances up and down at all of you as you emerge, like,
Goodbye, friend.
yep, goodbye.
Hi, bye.
Thanks.
You guys immediately leave, and you hear very quickly after you the door closes behind you, the sign turned to closed.
Whoops.
But you're once again back in the familiar, mildly awful city smell of Hilltown as you begin making your way northwest through the various roads and alleys, heading towards what is known as the Ash Lot. I'm going to ask, Drost, do you think you would have been at any point here in Hilltown, passing through?
I mean, it's probably unlikely.
Okay. First thing that grips you is that a lot. Obviously, Hilltown lives up to its name. Most of the city's like major areas and like ritzier areas seem to be built on the tops of hills, with kind of the lower areas being built, almost in a very similar way to like Yord. Of like the best stuff is towards the peaks. The slums are kind of at the bottom of the hills in these kind of ruts. That also end up forming natural roadways throughout the town. So you start making your way through there, and it's very obvious right from the get-go that Finn is very at home in these streets. Very familiar with common traffic patterns and things. He's able to kind of direct you guys in the quickest way possible, almost effortlessly.
Wave off the fucking pickpockets.
Yep.
Hey, fuck off.
No one bugs you even once throughout this whole time. And Finn, you actually get a couple of people you like vaguely recognize from the last time you were here, that like notice and then go and warn off others to leave you the fuck alone. So after the first couple, you start seeing less and less of them. But you eventually make your way through Ash Alley and to the Ash Lot, which I'll read the description for Drost's benefit. What looks to be this, what there was probably a fairly sizable building here, is nothing but a burnt, ashen heap with rotted timber, found cooked down to the foundations. Just nothing but gray or black ash filling this entire area. And I'm going to have everyone go ahead and roll a perception check, since some of you are well, everyone but Drost. Drost probably, unless you guys looped him in on who you're looking for. And Tez wouldn't know either.
I don't know anybody here.
Unless you guys looped him in on, or loop them in on who you're looking for, the elves and Finn can make a perception check for me.
We're looking for my former, I guess, foster brother.
Oh, you two are close.
No.
Oh.
Mostly he tried to kill me, and
That's not good, Finn.
no, but then I thought he got killed, and then I ran into him again, but turns out he was friends with Narret, so I was told I couldn't kill him, so
Oh.
I was told I was advised not to just kill him. Even though I still really want to.
Okay. That explains it. That's a terrible story, though. I'm sorry.
and we're trying to get information from this guy. Okay.
Well, we're on okay terms.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I don't understand the niceties of that world.
Yeah. Well, we need something from him, so I don't get to do what I want.
And with a 26 perception check, Finn, you spot the little like corner hovel up on the roof next door that you spotted him at previously. You don't see anyone up in there, but you do see what looks like, just from down here, signs of recent activity.
What time of day is it?
It's late afternoon at this point.
Well, I guess I'll leave a note. I'll go through the building, climb up on the roof where he was hanging out last time, and I'll fucking scribble a note. Tell him that we'll be back here at midnight.
Okay. You leave the note there.
Well, we got some time to kill. You guys hungry?
I'm starving.
I could eat.
I could take some goat's milk, too.
They will probably, I don't know, maybe not goat's milk, but they will definitely have milk.
Okay, milk's good. Milk's just super strong. And your bones healthy, Finn.
Mm-hmm.
What makes goat's milk better than cow's milk, Tez?
Goat's milk. It tastes better.
Like, is it more gamey or like how?
Sure.
Is it
I
less
just prefer-
viscous?
I prefer it. It's what I grew up drinking.
Oh, okay.
And then you can kill the goat and eat it when you're done.
True.
I mean, I'm assuming I know some place like a good tavern that has good food.
Yeah, you know of a couple. There's really only one here in Ash Alley, the Minstrel Spear. It's more of an inn, but they have decent food and lodging and everything. You do know that there's an even better one just down the street a ways in Old Hilltown, the Golden Tankard.
Yep.
Much better food and drink.
Yeah, let's go there. We're not in a big hurry, right?
You got till midnight.
No, I don't think so.
I say we head for the Golden Tankard.
Let's go.
All right. You guys head into the Old Hilltown district and make your way to the Golden Tankard, with a massive sign hanging from the door, which it's very clearly a tankard and it's painted yellow, but it doesn't look like it's made out of metal. Like it's not supposed. At least the caricature of the sign doesn't look like the tankard itself is supposed to be made out of metal. Finn, you know it's because the dish, like the place got its name for a dish that it serves that's not actually like a drink. They serve a almost like a bread bowl, but it's in the shape of a tankard that's filled with beer cheese dip.
Mm.
But you guys are able to get seated, and a waiter comes by. Round of ales and a golden tankard for the table.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
I'll
Leave.
take goat's milk.
Think we got that. All right.
Oh, cool. Great.
Comes back with a round of beers for the table. Tez, they put a thing of goat's milk in front of you and a beer. And then in the center of the table, they put what looks to be, a massive tankard made entirely out of bread, including the handle, filled to the brim with this bubbling, gooey, cheesy dip. And a large basket of what look like little pretzel sticks, soft pretzel sticks.
I want that right now.
No
realize.
shit.
Wrong with you, man? Testing's in. This is good.
Yeah, it's pretty bomb cheese dip. And pretzels. All of it's fresh, warm, out of the bakery. So,
Ooh.
and the ale isn't bad either, but easy enough to while away some time here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm filling out. So, like, we talked to your brother or whatever, and he points us to the catacombs, or is it more
Yeah.
complicated than that?
No, well, I don't know. It depends on if he wants to tell us where the catacombs are. I think he knows Narret. I think Narret was involved in him not being dead anymore. Or not being dead. So, but they
What
know
does
each
that
other.
mean? He's either dead or he's not.
Well, he's not, but he was supposed to be dead. And he turned out to not be dead.
Oh.
And he
Okay.
seemed different. Like, I don't know. He didn't seem like the same asshole that tried to murder me and dump me in a well.
That's not very brotherly.
No, like I said, it was an adoptive brother. Which turns out I was an orphan because he murdered my dad. So,
This
God
guy
damn.
sucks.
there's that. Yeah, he was a huge asshole.
Oh, I don't like this guy one bit.
Nope.
Yeah. Then we could probably work up a if he's reluctant, we could work up some way of extraction of that information.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to give it up, I've got other sources,
Yeah.
but I know he knows her directly, so if he's willing to cooperate, we can get, like, better directions.
If he's not willing to cooperate, what are we gonna do?
Oh, probably go talk to somebody else I know and see if he's heard any rumors about, some goblin tinkerers lair down in the
Alright.
depths of the catacombs.
That sounds like a plan.
So
Guys
killing
have-
him is off the table.
I don't know. The whole
Well, I mean, if he's got information.
eldritch power in my head told me not to kill him.
Huh.
Probably best to listen.
Yeah.
All right. Spend a couple hours relaxing. If anyone needs to, obviously you get a short rest from that. Gain back any spell slots and or resources from there. But
I'm gonna
eventually,
well, no, never mind.
all right. Eventually, time passes and gets closer and closer to midnight, and time to head out. It is 7 silver for everything, by the way. Whoever wants to pay that tab.
Oh, it's fine. I'll slide him a gold.
Done and handled.
Nice.
You guys head back out into the dark of night, and it looks like it's starting to rain just a little bit. Just a very light drizzle. Midnight traffic obviously isn't very big, but you do see a couple people out and about. A couple of boarded lancers out on patrol throughout the town. Finn, since the hubbub the last time you guys were in town, it doesn't look like it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. You're also noticing less and less of the Imperial Guard that were here last time. Willing to bet that probably most of them are sent up north ways right about now, since you guys ended up kind of seeing the army on your way north as well.
Yeah.
Is this a diverse town or mostly human?
Predominantly human, but not by a strong majority. You do see quite a few people, non-humans throughout here, mostly dwarves and halflings.
Okay.
But quite a number of elves, gnomes, tieflings, and such. So all kinds around here. Hilltown is one of the provincial capitals, so it's pretty bustling on the best of days. So a lot of diversity. Just still probably a 2-to-1 ratio for humans to non-humans.
Yeah.
But you guys are able to make your way back into the Ash Alley, to the Ash Lot specifically, and standing amongst the wreckage of the former home of the Storm Ravens is none other than your long-lost foster brother.
Hello, Anatoly.
Finn? Looks like you've got a couple of different faces from the last time.
Yeah.
I've heard stories about you.
Well, I'll cut right to it. Your friend, the Tinker, we would like to speak with her.
Fate's kind of weird about that, because I was going to ask you to speak to her too, now that you're back in town. And you kind of you've kind of just gotten a vague look at his face. He has his hood up, obviously. He kind of pulls it back, and you see there's a fresh scar, a burn mark on the right side of his face, covering most of his eye and past his head a little bit to the side.
Looks like it hurt.
Wasn't pleasant. And unfortunately, I can't say the other guy looks worse.
Uh-oh. Oh. Torch? Blonde hair? Kind of a fucking nutter?
Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, it's showed up a couple weeks back. I guess he'd stopped in. He was doing some stuff up north and wanted to say hi. And well, he said some stuff I didn't like, and I made a comment known. And he said something about servants should only speak when spoken to, and then boom.
Yeah, he sucks.
Not a good guy. So, but Nerit's got a weak spot for him, so not like I can say or do much about it.
Yeah. So he was here?
A couple weeks back, yeah. Seems like he gets around quite a bit. He teleported in and teleported out.
Yeah. Was he just in town to see her?
Yeah. Wasn't even that long, only like 15 minutes. I'm not a mage, but that seems like a massive waste of fucking spell, right? Like
From what
one of you
from what I
nerds
know
that
him,
shit.
he's got the fucking juice to burn.
Oh, that's good. Well, if you're wanting to talk to her, I can lead you down there.
Yep.
Can't promise it's going to go well, considering she doesn't like to hear anything negative about him, but
Well,
and I'm going to take a wild guess and say whatever you have to say is probably going to be negative.
we got other things to talk about besides just him, but yes.
Well, don't blame me if I go hiding behind a door or something when the talking starts happening.
Yeah, that's fun.
And he starts walking off in a direction. You guys follow?
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
follow.
All right. He leads you a little bit deeper into the ash alley, towards one of the iron walls. And when you guys actually make it to the wall proper, it looks like there's a like sewer grate almost. At first glance, it doesn't look special. It just looks like a normal sewer grate anywhere. But he ends up like pulling it off, and the grate itself is this massive like 4x8 piece of metal. Shifts it to the side, gestures for you guys to hop in.
Oh, this will be fun.
What, too good to
Traipse
go
through.
skulking around the sewers now?
I haven't traipsed through Hilltown sewers in a long time.
Yeah, they still smell like shit, so.
This stinks.
All you guys hop in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You all hop in and immediately kind of sink like a good third of an inch into some kind of muck down here. Anatoly like half climbs down and pulls the grate closed behind you guys as he joins you in there. Well, now the fun time. Pulls out a little crystal and like shakes it a little bit, and it lights up and starts leading the way. The smell is pretty awful, but thankfully it only lasts like a couple hundred feet. Eventually, you guys end up leaving what's considered the sewer area, taking a couple steps up, and make it into these like carved stone tunnels. Yeah, Trost throws up his mouth a few times. Yeah, it's not a great smell. It takes a couple castings of like prestidigitation to get the smell and all of that just out away from you a bit. But you guys are you eventually take a couple steps up into these carved stone tunnels that seem to just weave in almost like an incoherent pattern. But at no point does Anatoly like stop to consider where he's heading. Seems like he knows the way pretty well at this point. And the smell, as you get farther and farther away, the smell recedes quite a bit, and it just smells like musty tunnel down here. Eventually, Anatoly kind of stops and holds his hand up real quick. Looks on one of the walls and presses a series of bricks in a very specific order, and you hear a massive series of clunks reverberate through the far end of the tunnel that you were about to walk in. All right, should be good for this one now. And starts walking you down the next part of the tunnel. You guys make it another couple hundred feet. Stops again, hits another series of bricks, another series of clunks, as he's disarming yet another set of traps for you guys. And proceeds to do this another 4 times as you guys make your way down here. it does not take a genius to realize, like, any attempts to have found this place on your own would have probably gone really bad without someone really good at picking up traps. And potentially disarming them without knowing the actual way you're supposed to. But after about an hour of doing this, you finally make it to the end of the tunnel, which is just a stone wall and a wooden door. And you can very clearly see some light coming in from underneath there. Ready?
Oh, I'd say so.
All right.
Yeah.
Cracks the door open, opens it up, and takes a step inside. Narrate, I'm back. I've got guests, though. Don't try not to be rude and maybe put pants on. Off in the distance, somewhere in this, as you're starting to walk into this chamber, you can hear some kind of like high-pitched buzzing or like whirring noise. And as you kind of walk in, you very clearly see this is like an artificer's dream house. Various like half-finished or dormant projects scattered throughout. Multiple pieces of equipment that one looks almost like your characters wouldn't know what a train looks like, but it almost looks like the train, like the engine of a train. Another one that looks very similar to like a wagon that seems to be doesn't have any kind of hitchings for horses or anything like that. One area, it's a miniaturized version of like the airships, meant for like one or two people, almost like a sloop, but it's even smaller than a sloop, like a canoe, really. Mounted with these, arcane engines meant to fly around like that. And in the center is this massive suit of armor, very akin to what you guys have probably seen as like arcane golems. The closest thing you've probably seen to this is actually the purgers from the prison, except bigger on a scale. This thing, it's like a step up in magnitude. It probably stands somewhere around like 15 feet tall when it's fully assembled, about 20 feet wide. Kind of squat looking a little bit, with this massive like disc for a head, with what looks to be a seat somewhere in the middle of there, almost like a little chair with various controls. And near the top there, you can see this little goblin form, hair wrapped up in a hood, big, just obscenely large goggles attached to a welding mask currently on, and it appears to be like welding something with an arcane torch to the outer hull of this suit. As Narret kind of looks up at Anatoly's greeting, pops up the welding mask, and you can kind of see what looks just like a goblin female. A couple busted, very sharp, craggly-looking teeth. A couple of various scars on her green-skinned face. But even at a distance, you can see like she is reading every movement and intention of you guys as you enter her space here. What, you're bringing new people in here? You're not supposed to do that. And she takes the helmet off, puts it in the seat, kind of scrabbles her way down. Are these friends? Or are you just trying... Are you... enemy? I don't know what's going on here. Anatoly, who are they? Anatoly holds his hands up. Well, this one... I don't know, Finn, if you want me to introduce you or you want to introduce yourself. You were always good at that.
Oh, yeah. Finn Stormraven. We have some friends in common.
You said that really ominously. Is that because we actually have friends in common, or is this something
Well,
weird?
a little bit of both. Bridget, might know her as the Wolf. She was one of
Oh.
your associates.
Former. Yeah. You're not... And you see her hand kind of going to her belt. You're not here to kill me for her, are you?
No. Nope, not at all.
Give me a persuasion check real quick.
Is she attracted to me? Because I get an advantage.
She is not.
Decidedly not.
Yeah, no. Mechanically, you don't know why. Out of game. Could be any number of reasons. We're gonna do... Oh my god, you guys didn't see the 2 I just fucking rolled. All right, I'm gonna keep that in mind, Drost. Okay. She kind of eyes all of you, looks at you up and down. Okay, why are you here for her then? She's not exactly on speaking terms with the rest of us. I'm assuming you know who we are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here and know her. So,
Well, that's the other thing. You see, your boss, the Blade, who, by the way, is like harboring an aspect of the Demogorgons, like king, like prince of demons and monsters that he's trying to unleash.
oh yeah, I know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, paid us to kill your buddy the Torch, and the wolf seemed to think you would object to that, so we came down to chat with you about your thoughts about that situation.
Oh, because you're thinking I'm going to turn on the Blade or one of the two after being upset about that.
I mean, really just kind of get your read on the whole thing. Bridget didn't think you'd take it well if we just murdered the Torch.
Probably not. No,
So-
I probably would have come after you with this thing. And she points at the giant mech suit.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
not fucking around.
That's big.
That is big.
Yeah, I probably would have chased you guys down to the ends of the earth and tried to kill you with that if you just gone up and killed him.
Yeah, she
and-
did say to come after you immediately if we did just kill him.
Well, good.
Because you'd be
She's a
coming
good-
after us.
She's a good judge of character, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
As far as like turning on anyone, I don't want to be in the middle of that. I'm not good with people or politics or anything like that. I just make shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're here to like try and turn me or get my blessing to kill one of them or both.
I mean, you know your dude's like not right.
Just because
Right.
he's not right doesn't mean he can't be.
I mean, if you got a way to make that happen, it sounds like the Blade wants him out of the picture for a good reason. And we also have not terrible reasons to dislike him. I mean, he's been like glassing villages up in the woods just fairly indiscriminately. So, I mean, if you know a way to get his head right and, you know, have him stop murdering innocent people, we're all ears. Also, we wanted to chat with you about the big cannons the Empire's building.
Oh, those,
You know,
yeah.
the Mystics they use one of those to blow up one of the anchors that keeps the Demogorgon locked in its prison and not on the material plane fucking shit up.
I don't know
Bad
anything
shit.
about that. I know about the cannon. I helped make the cannon. But I don't know anything about Demogorgon or anything. I mean, obviously I know a little bit because I had a long conversation with the Blade about it at some point because he thought I would be a good one for Fury, and then it was like, oh well, actually you're not. But yeah, so I guess it makes sense that he would want the cannons to free Demogorgon. That makes sense.
Well, there was one on Anchor Island that they blew up.
Oh, did it work?
Yeah.
Oh,
The cannon
well.
are blowing up the thing.
Either.
Yes, both did.
Oh, that's kind of cool. When I kind of theorized it and all the upgrades and everything, I wasn't sure it was actually going to work. So,
Mhm.
good to know.
Like, are you cool with Apocalypse?
I don't really care either way. I don't have a stake in the game.
That's crazy.
Like, you can't invent shit if you're dead.
You're gonna
Yeah, but-
die.
If the apocalypse comes, let's be clear here. If I turn on either one of them, they're perfectly capable of killing me in like a second.
We'll protect you.
Well,
Sorry,
you
that
have to
was-
get directly
Sorry, I
involved.
laughed because that was funny. Let me-
Big.
I'm not good. Like, the only reason I was associated with them at first is because it was the only way for me to get my designs acknowledged in a way that I could see them actually made and tested.
Yeah, no, your shit's awesome, and the fucking non-human fucking racism in this empire is fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's not great. So I was very happy when I got picked by him to, start having my designs used in things like this. It's, again, really kind of cool that cannon worked. I really didn't think it was going to at first, and I had no way of making one and testing it. So, good to know. As
Is there
far
any
as
way
the
to,
other...
like, alter that cannon so it, like, say, self-destructed?
Why would I want to destroy one of those cannons? They're perfect.
Well, yeah, but they're perfectly capable of blowing up the anchors and like ending existence.
Well, yeah, but do you blame a sword for killing someone or the person wielding it?
Well, but you already built the cannons. Like,
Yeah.
now you just move on to the next thing.
Well, yeah, I'm already moving on to the next thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can just, we clean the
But I don't
cannons
want
up.
I don't want my I don't want them to be destroyed.
Alright.
I mean, look, I get where you're coming from. Like, they're perfectly, perfect weapons of mass destruction, all that jazz. Dealt with it before when I was in ICEI. It's not a really big deal to me. Like, I like following some of these concepts as a theory and then trying to test them, and then that's when I'm done with the process. So, if someone builds the cannon and it happens to, be perfectly capable of destroying some big thing, I didn't build it. I didn't do it. I just designed the thing. But what it sounds like you're wanting me to do, or at least trying to talk me into, is disrupt any kind of work that I already did and made and my babies, or do something I probably don't want to do against my boss and the torch. Everyone,
we
go ahead
would
and roll
like
me
to
an insight check real quick.
Oh, damn it. I'm not good at these.
Did you say everybody?
Anyone who's paying attention, I suppose.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm probably not paying attention to the conversation.
that was
I am.
kind of my thought. Yeah.
Maybe half of my brain.
You can take it at disadvantage then.
I mean, yeah. I will for fun, but I'm assuming someone understands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler, you caught a very strong degree of hesitation when she said, when she was describing everything. She was using a lot of colloquial terms that meant to her, her babies and her boss. And the minute she went to go describe the torch, there was a hesitation, and she chose a different word. And then chose his title instead. She was going to call him something not by that title. Something that probably meant a lot more to her at that point. You can just based on that hesitation, this is very clearly someone who has a kind of maybe not skewed sense of morality, but a very despondent one of not really caring about certain morals and the morality of building weapons and things like that. Doesn't seem to have any real care or empathy for human life, outside of her immediate circle. Very clearly attached to whatever feeling she's having for the torch.
If this all goes down, the torch is gonna die too, right?
You don't know that.
I do. Everyone dies, he dies.
You don't know
Jeez.
that. He's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, he's
Not as
basically
powerful.
a dragon, but
Not as powerful as what we're up against.
She looks at you, Finn. How do you know that?
I hear things. He was born underneath a dragon's lair, inherited the power of the red dragon. Is that not common knowledge? I thought everybody knew that.
There are two people besides him that know about that. And I don't see you with golden hair and a very bad attitude. Or looking like me.
Brown hair, a medium bad attitude.
Exactly.
Well, there's obviously more than two people, because I know it too. You said he didn't have to be the worst. Is there a way to make him not be a genocidal fucking maniac? Because that would probably extend his life.
Give me another persuasion check here. Actually, I should probably ask, is Finn actually interested in this, or is Finn just trying to make the point?
No, I'm legit.
Okay.
I mean, hearing how the torch gets his power and how fucking strong he is, there's a reason the blade wants him dead. And if we can make him, like I said, not a fucking asshole, I'm 100% fine with fucking Nazi scientists getting us to the fucking moon.
All right, look. He wasn't he got dealt a bad hand being, born under that tower and infused with that power from that young age, all right? He didn't know how to control it. He did some things did some things that you don't come back from at a very young age. So he was very impressionable at that time, very broken. And the first person he meets after doing all of that and being that broken is the Blade. And that's why he ended up the way he is. All right. Do I think he could be better? Absolutely. Do I have a way of doing so? Maybe. I don't know yet. I make things that don't always get tested to figure out. And I might have something that might separate that thing in him from himself. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if what it'll do, actually. I just have an idea. And I tried to make it, and I think I made it.
You need somebody to go test it out?
Yeah, we should try it.
I don't know what will happen if I try to test it out, if anyone tries to test it out. I don't even know if it'll work. There's a component to this of he is incredibly strong. And I think with him being as strong as he is, he would have to be very, very weakened for it to even have a remote chance of doing what it's supposed to do. She kind of looks at Anatoly. Can they be trusted? Anatoly looks back at Finn. Looks back at her. Probably more so than I can.
That's true. I've got a lot of really good reasons to want that dude dead, but here I am over here, not killing him.
I mean, neither one of us are perfect.
You fucking murdered my father, tried to fucking kill me, and dumped me in a fucking well.
Yeah, and then I died too.
I didn't fucking do it.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just... Not the time. Not the point. If anyone's going to be able to do it, probably them. And there it thinks. One sec. She scrambles off towards one of her other workbenches. Drost. The entire time this has been happening, what have you been? What are you trying to get your hands on? What are you looking for?
I'm not stealing things. I'm just interested
Everything.
in the nerd. I'm nerding out. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. This is crazy how this works. I would have never in a million years came up with that, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. You do recognize in some of these prototypes, especially like the wagon without any kind of horse hitch, you do recognize the faint glimmer of some crystals that you've recently seen in a not so great place. But
hey, Tyler, want to suck up a soul again?
Dude, not particularly.
I'm joking.
phrasing.
I have a cloth to do that, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have one of those, don't you?
Yeah, it's in my pocket.
I just shiver at how it felt. Is she in the other room?
It looks like
Merritt?
she's not quite in the other room, but like in another sub chamber of this main one, rummaging around through some various prototypes she has stacked on a workbench.
I will lean to Finn and be like, do you think she'll give us tips on how to weaken him if,
I mean, it doesn't take a lot of reading between the lines. Like, weaken
Well,
him.
right,
And
but
we're gonna have to
like,
like kick the shit out of him, and then like before we kill him, then fucking I don't know. Put the fucking whammy on him. Maybe if we can like pull out the dragon, then we can like use the dragon to make a bomb and fucking blow up the blade.
maybe.
That sounds like the funnest idea.
She eventually comes back, holding what looks to be actually Finn and the twins. You both have seen a device very similar to this. This kind of oval-shaped device that looks like it has some metallic cables that kind of hang off of it on both ends. It's very similar to the apparatus that Driz got, that turned into his like suit of armor, his adapting suit.
Mm.
So basically what you're going to do is once he's in a state of being weakened, you'll have to apply this, and the cables will snap around his body and like link up. He then has to stay in that weakened state long enough for this to try and do what it's going to do. If it, I tried to design it. It's fireproof, but everything's fireproof to a certain point, and he's known for finding that point and going past it a lot. So he might, and you gotta try and keep him at that point. The longer it stays attached to him, the better chance of success it might have, if it's gonna do what I think it's gonna do, which is yank out that spirit that's attached to him and store it. If it gets damaged during that process, things get really complicated really fast, whether that means the spirit like takes over him, or the spirit gets free as its own entity and then manifests, or I don't know. It's going to be very complicated if it doesn't go perfect, and things rarely ever go perfect in combat from what I've seen. So
Sounds
Alright,
like a
so
good
we
plan
gotta- so we got to find him, weaken him. I'm assuming with a fight, and then slap this bad boy on him, and then like keep fighting him for a while until this thing does its job, which is either gonna store the spirit of an ancient red dragon, or unleash the spirit of an ancient red dragon, or do nothing.
yeah, it's
Those are
supposed to try and store it.
Okay.
If there's going to be a balance act to it, because if he dies while it's attached to him, it's not going to work, and the spirit will just do whatever it's probably going to do to him. I probably should explain. He and I have kind of theorized a bit and done some poking, and it's always kind of been the idea of like, if he ever dies, that spirit is going to do whatever it can to stay corporeal. So he'd probably just turn into a dragon at that point. Maybe. We don't know if it'll actually work, because things like this are weird and hard to quantify, but there's a better than zero chance of, if you kill him, he just becomes a dragon.
Okay.
And if this thing is attached to him and then he dies, that chance goes higher at that point, because it's been fucking with his soul. And if this thing's trying to separate two souls from each other and then one of them suddenly dies, the dead one's going to go in there without any fight rather than the one that is fighting.
Yeah.
So
So
keep him alive at all costs.
once this thing is attached to him, you got to keep him in that state of weakened but not dead.
Okay.
Alright.
Mechanically
That probably
speaking,
won't be too difficult.
above board mechanically speaking. Basically, by death, by the way, I mean hits 0 hit points. There's not going to be a unconscious phase for him. If he hits 0 hit points, then it becomes a roll whether or not he turns into a dragon. And if this thing is attached to him, the chances of that roll going in a different way are much higher.
Near do you have any idea how long enough is, or just
Till it works.
we know when it works?
You'll know when it works.
Great.
It won't take. It shouldn't take very long. There's nowhere like. Again, theory. It's not like I have a weird mixed up Dragonite soul thing kicking around that I can test this on, but theoretically, more than a couple seconds, less than half a minute. So
Anything we should know about to help us get him into that weakened state, other than like the obvious?
don't hit him with fire and don't hit him with cold. Cold doesn't. You'd think that maybe it'd do something. It doesn't. He's kind of got a resistance to it, and all it's really going to do is piss him off.
What about water?
Same deal.
Fuck.
Actually, if anything, it's going to be even less useful because when he has this thing where whenever he gets into a fight, the very air around him starts cooking, so it's just going to evaporate. Like if you were to throw a bucket of water at him from like 30 feet away, the bucket of water would evaporate by the time it gets near him.
Are you familiar with the shit? What's the spell? Watery sphere spell?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Same deal?
Wouldn't work on him.
All right, well, that gets me to plan B.
What's plan B?
Wing it?
Okay, I like that plan too. I'm just gonna swing.
And you kind of see, like, as you guys are making this plan, Narret just kind of thinks a little bit and goes, try not to kill him, please.
I can't make any promise.
Yeah, that's
I know he's done things that a lot of people would say are bad. I clearly am not good with stuff like that, but
Oh, he's terrible.
I think if he can be redeemed, we'll take all of the chances we can on it.
He didn't get a chance to be anything but what he is. And I think he could be something more. That kid is so smart. So smart. If he didn't have that thing in him and I think I can undo what the blade did to him for so long. But not if that thing is still holding on to him.
Yeah. I know a little bit about having a weird power inside you that you didn't ask for and are only slightly sure you control. So.
Oh, you do? That's ominous. What is it?
I don't really know a whole lot of details.
Oh.
Like, you ever heard the name Eldath?
Oh, yeah. One of the Elder Gods?
Yeah.
From the time of the Creation War. Oh, you have an Elder God kicking around in your head?
Yep, when that one tried to fucking murder me, I ended up fucking picking this thing up.
Huh. Hey, Anatoly, if I had you go kick a couple other people down a well, what do you think are the odds that we could... sample size would be so low. I don't know. Food for thought. I'll think about it later.
Mm-hmm.
You can just see, like, the glint in her eyes as she's imagining an army of warlocks. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, what's the best place to find him? Also,
I mean, his tower. He literally goes there to sleep every night. Like,
will that not be suicide?
I mean, not more so than trying to ambush him in a place where, he's unpredictable, as you've said, and he very clearly is. You run the risk of him just poofing out of there. His home is the one place, like, if you went there and picked a fight there, he will not leave.
So any place else, he'd make a run for it.
Yeah, any place else.
Like if we did get on top of him.
Not saying he's going to make a run for it, but like he's much more likely. Like if you just pick a fight with him out in the middle of the open air, yeah, there's a solid chance. Like if you hurt him bad enough, or he realizes it's not going his way, he'll just teleport out of there. You pick a fight with him in his home, where like the one place in the Empire that he can sleep at night. Oh yeah, no, he's gonna fucking fight.
Do you know anything about the what is it, the tower?
The Torre Infierna? Oh yeah, plenty. I've been there a couple of times. It's so long as you're okay with a lot of heat and warmth, it's really not that bad. Like a lot of the ancient dragon magic from Tal'Dorei has kind of worn off over the years. He has a couple, like Khaled has cast a couple of runes and things like that for defenses, but that's like trivial shit. So I mean, if you guys killed Forden, so I'm sure it's fine. You'll figure it out.
Did you just say his name? The torch's
Which one?
name?
Khaled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew.
Oh. Yeah.
I may have known, but I
think somebody told us that, right?
At some point, yeah. Khaled Al-Puerzin was his name.
Then, oh yeah, I knew.
Name ring a bell now?
Not to me, but to Drost, it does.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a wizard's tower, so yeah, there's some like arcane stuff to it, but you can get around that shit. But it's the one place that if you pick a fight, he will not run from. Like, he has trouble sleeping anywhere else, so he has to go there.
Oof.
Well, I mean, we were talking about going to Oasis anyway. Definitely not to trash that cannon.
I'd love to see it.
Well, all right, and she just kind of walks off. You get the sense you've kind of got the sense already. She's not good with people.
Yeah.
She's kind of like she kind of senses that this is like the conversation's drawing to a close and just doesn't say goodbye or anything. Just goes back to hopping up onto her little automaton suit up here and grabs her welding mask. Anatoli's just like, yeah, she's like that. She's probably not going to say anything else unless you have questions. So.
Nah, I think that's our cue.
Yep.
All right, back to the surface we go. Hey, Nair, is it okay if we take the fast way? And she just kind of waves her hand up in the air, like, yeah, okay, we'll go the fast way. And he takes you to the other side of the chamber, to what looks like a little teleportation circle here. But you can very clearly see Drost. This is not a like what you would use for the spell teleportation circle. This is a like one-way transit stop. Like you step on this, it sends you a place, and you can never go the other way back.
Sure.
So it's I'm trying to think of the best way. It's like the arcane equivalent of a bolt hole. Like once you're through it, it's
right. Yeah.
You cannot get it back in from the outside, but good for escape. Anatoly just kind of gestures. Whoever wants to take us back to the surface.
Yep. I'm assuming did I take the harness?
Yeah, she handed it to you. I don't know if you handed it
Okay.
off to anyone else.
I'll hang on to it. I'm assuming Dross is going to want to fucking paw over it as soon as we get out of here, but
Maybe. Yeah, go ahead and mark that in your inventory. Arcane harness is just the official term I have for it. So,
okay.
Yeah, you guys step through or step into this little portal thing, and another flash of light, much less disorienting than the one from the watchtower. and you appear not in a like specific spot, like on another plinth or circle. You just appear in the street outside of the ash lot, right where you guys started when you saw Anatoly earlier.
Subtle.
Neat.
I come here a lot. So you're really gonna go after him?
Yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of choice.
Could always run.
Now we're in
Gotta-
too deep for that.
Unless we got another planet or dimension to run to.
Damn.
And the impressions I get from what I assume the relationship with whatever's in my head with the Demogorgon, I'm probably persona non grata when he hits this plane as well anyway, so.
Well, I guess I hope.
Never thought of that.
I guess I hope everything
True.
goes well then, so that existence just doesn't come to an end.
Yep. That's the goal.
Well, and he puts a hand out to shake yours, Finn.
I don't know if we're quite there yet.
Be careful, Finn. He might try to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pat me down all you want. I don't have a dagger on me or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time.
Fair enough. All right. He kind of just wanders off and heads towards his spot, and you see, like, he takes a step, passing by, like, part of the ruins, just obscured from sight for, like, half a second, disappears.
Well, Trost, you gonna teleport us back so we can get the fucking rebel yell and I guess we fly down to Oasis or are we gonna teleport? We probably don't. I guess we could use the book, right?
Yeah, we could use a book.
How many people will the book take? Is it 6?
Up to 6, correct. And you also remember that Loki is not with you at the moment.
Yeah.
Hey, just meet us in Oasis.
Yeah.
We need to go save Loki from those kobolds.
Yeah, we can drop back through Avandre's. Well, there's no circle in Qualaria.
Not at the moment.
Nope.
Yeah, Vondre said he was going to be getting on that after he does the whatever he was going to go do.
I mean, we could go back to the Archmage's Tower, but from there, I don't.
Well, can we go from...
I could call Avandre and see if he's got any other coordinates that would be useful.
Yeah.
But we'd get to pick Loki up. Oh, fuck.
All right, you call in Vondre?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Avandre.
You initiate the cell stone and try to make a connection and immediately get back a message that says, "This is a pre-recorded message. If you're trying to call me at the moment, I'm currently unavailable. Please leave a short message that I will not listen to. I will just try to call you back later."
Great.
He did tell you that he was going to be out of
Yeah.
contact for like a day.
Yeah.
So
Right. Shit.
Well, I guess we're stuck in Hilltown for a day. We'll fucking go party it up.
it's an option. You can always just find a tavern for the night.
That's got my vote.
Yeah, I'm good with
fine
that.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You taking them back to the Golden Tankard or a more rowdy tavern?
Yeah, I mean the Golden Tanker's nice, but it's a little fancy, right?
Yeah, it's a little fancier. As far like if you're looking for a place to have a lot of fun, uh, there's a couple different ones not in the center of town. There are.
I was looking through the notes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all the old notes here. There's a couple of them that you know are owned by the Order of Shadows that you could probably maybe get a discount out of, but hard to tell if you
Yeah.
necessarily want to lean on that. There's a lot of
Also,
like
there's-
random dingy taverns and everything. There's the one. Wasn't there one with ghosts? I feel like there was one with ghosts.
Oh, that's the Yellow Goblet.
Yeah.
Does it have a ghost bartender? Because if it doesn't, I'm fucking disappointed in their initiative.
That'd be really cool.
The ghosts help bartend there, but
Nice.
the primary bartender is always a physical being in case they have to pick up heavier stuff. But
Yeah, I
there's-
mean it was half full mug. It's got secret doors and passages.
like getting drunk at a hedge maze.
Yeah, I'll just find like a medium sized. Yeah, I mean, you guys want to go back to the Golden Tankard?
Yeah, that's
Sure, I prefer it.
There we go.
Alright.
Let's do it.
You guys head back to the Golden Tankard, secure rooms for the night. It's a much chiller crowd here than in, probably some of the other bars that could have gone, but still a decent nighttime crowd. But it starts by the time you guys are done with everything with the Narret, it's quickly approaching 2 a.m. and there's not a whole lot of people drinking left, so everyone just kind of starts heading off either home or to bed. But you guys are able to, since they have a night
Yeah.
bartender
Get
on
rooms.
staff all night. Yeah, you guys are able to get rooms and hunker down for the night.
Okay.
Next morning, unless you guys are doing anything else for the night.
Nope.
It's pretty late.
All right. Next morning, you will all wake up. As soon as you wake up, Drost, you feel the cell stone vibrating in your pocket.
Hey, Avandre.
Hey, sorry I was a little preoccupied. But to be fair, you were calling me at like midnight. So, what's up? How can I help?
Sorry about that. Lose track of time.
No
We were curious. We're in Hilltown. Do you have any coordinates of teleportation circles either near Kalaria, or would you be able to get Loki to Oasis?
I could certainly get Loki to Oasis. That would be an easy one. As far as teleportation circles to Krillaria, with mine destroyed, the nearest one would be Oakland, which isn't very close. It would almost certainly be faster, like if you were trying to get back to Krillaria, for you to go to the Watchtower, and I would just teleport you from there.
Sure.
Or gate you from there, at least.
Sounds like that's the plan. We'll go to the Watchtower then.
Okay.
All right. We'll if we can meet you at the Watchtower, when's a good time?
I have to wrap up something here. Give me a couple hours, so maybe noonish.
Sounds good.
Works for me.
All right, see you then. And you hear it go, or the line go dead, essentially.
Bye. Dross probably wouldn't have the niceties to do that either. Yeah. Well, we can leave. We can go back at noon.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah, you guys just have some brunch, and then around that time, find a little alleyway and are able to teleportation circle back up to the watchtower. As soon as you guys get there, the vibe in the place has kind of changed a little bit since yesterday. You're now seeing things moving on their own. Books, like certain tomes, kind of being pulled off of the shelves and set up in certain stacks, arranging themselves in different like reading nooks and things like that. And you can kind of hear this just pervasive humming as Avandre's just kind of flitting around and controlling things now. And you can also see, Dros, you especially, that glyph that was on his hand is now glowing a bit. It seems like whatever like process he had to do to have it certified by the royal family, he's now done.
Looks like he got plugged in.
Indeed, the amount of power in this place is astounding. Everything here, I can, like, don't get me wrong, my own arcane sanctums, I can control with a degree of familiarity in low-level spellcraft that isn't even necessarily spellcraft, just magical effect. But this, it's like I have a errant thought, and then suddenly, and you see a book fly out from one of the walls, and he catches it in his hand. Literally just thought about a book about birds, and he holds it up, and it's a book about birds.
That's impressive.
Didn't even know that was there. It just kind of happened. This place is amazing. And he sends it back up to its spot. I am going to do so much research up here. Anyway, he claps. Krillaria, need to send you back, correct?
Either Carlaria or Oasis.
I can send you to either. I guess it's just up to you.
How long does it take to fly down there? Do we know that?
Flying would probably take you better part of a week. Probably, well, no, definitely at least a week, if not a couple days more, depending on when. I don't know weather things. I don't know why I'm trying to bother with that. I would assume it would take at least a week, if not more.
Okay, so we're, I think, teleport then, right, guys?
I think so.
That would be the instantaneous way to do it, at least.
I think so too.
And if need be, I can certainly have Loki sent down to meet you there as well. I'm guessing by this you're going after that cannon and the torch down there?
Yeah. Yep. Narret, the Tinkerer, gave us this little harness thing that is supposed to pull the dragon out of him.
Pull the dragon out of him.
Yep.
Do you mind if I poke it?
No, there you go.
Thank you. Takes it, fiddles with it a little bit, casts a couple spells. Gross, you see him casting his own analysis spell. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, yank the dragon out of him is certainly one way to put it. This is certainly... Oh. Don't put this on a person who just has one soul, by the way. This is, So, we discussed those soul crystals at one point.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cut... He hands it back to you. This is a cut-down version of what that does, or how those are made.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Ooh, is it going to turn that dragon into a crystal?
Don't know, but I know if you were to stick a crystal on the end of that and then put attach it to a person, it would do that to them. Oh, that was... Sorry, I thought I activated the music in the tower for a second.
Sorry about that.
I didn't know this place had Spotify.
What is that?
Oh, please, I don't use Spotify. I'm much more of a Pandora person.
Makes more sense, honestly.
Yes, I mean, it seems like it's at least designed to do the thing that it should do. Don't put that on a normal person, would be my guess. Or any creature that, of any kind of magical power that would do awful things to them.
I mean, I think we just planned on.
Attaching it to him, yeah, probably smart.
Yep.
Sounds like you're in for a fun time, though.
Yikes.
Yeah. Just a friendly word of warning. You're fighting a wizard on his turf. Make if possible, don't get caught before you get when you get there. Get a good lay of the land. Figure it out.
We can do that.
Good plan.
All right. Well, unless there's anything else, and he goes and starts the glyphs and gestures needed to cast teleportation. All good?
I think so.
I think we're good.
Yep.
All right. And with a gesture, cast teleport, and you as a group disappear from the watchtower. And that is where we're going to end for the night, as you are flung back into the material plane towards an entirely new locale that I need to make maps for.
Nice. Oasis.
Yeah. I have an idea. It's a work in progress one, though. It ain't done.
There you go.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Well, then I
All
guess
right.
Since we're ending, I guess I will end the recording here. So thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time.